course, I'm Reese Davis, Jesse Palmer, and David Pollack with me. Guys, can't wait to get this started. Auburn will kick it off to get things started. Looking for an alley from inside his own 10. Not a whole lot of room to operate on that return as the coverage unit was there and ready. So Kentucky's offense going to get the chance to start this game off. They are going to be greeted rather rudely, I guess, by a group of defensive linemen that wreak havoc and hunt down quarterbacks, Jesse.
And they wreck games. They take away everything you do offensively. So it's a huge challenge in this one, David, for this offensive coordinator to try to call plays and find ways to get the football away from these big fellas up front because they take games over.
And get the ball out quick. Like when you've got a defensive line that...
Oh, he's got some space. They stay aggressive and push their way out to the 33, and it's first down.
When you go on the road, man, oh man, do you love hearing the crowd. But more importantly, you love shutting the crowd up. There's no better feeling than coming out, getting that juice going, getting that confidence going, and getting that running game going right at them and gashing them right out the gates.
And he never had a chance, just stopped cold as soon as he got it.
And that play shows you really what this defense is about. It's a difficult one to attack. They're really good. One of the best in the country. They come at you from all angles. So I'm interested to watch. How do you mix up the play calling? How do you keep the defense off balance? Because they are a good one.
And the pass is incomplete, jarred loose by the hit.
I think for the quarterback, he's going to have to be so good with his eyes in this game. You're going up against one of the best defenses in the country. You've got to look guys off, especially when you're trying to throw to your primary target like he was on that last one.
Back to pass, it's Marco. That was almost picked off, and what a disaster that would have been to throw a pick on the opening drive. Instead, it's fourth down.
That is exactly how you set a tone when you... And especially when you're at home. If you can get them and force them into a punt early, keep that crowd going and involved, man, is it fun to play defense.
They kick it away on fourth down. Catches it at the 30. Working his way on the return up to the 40-yard line before he stopped. So Auburn's offense will have its first possession of the game. And the heart of this team clearly rests on the offensive line, a group of maulers, David, who take pride in what they do.
Man, I think if you're a coach, you take pride. Like, it starts up front. Like, you win and lose games with physicality, and they lean on all the big fellas up front, the hog mollies, the big uglies, the most unselfish players on the field.
It's old school, man. We're in an era of college football where it's up-tempo, spread, air raid. Games are still won and lost, though, in the trenches. And because this is one of the best offensive lines in all of college football, that is a huge advantage this offense takes into each and every game.
And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield.
Well, good call by the defense there. They dialed up blitz into that running play, and the linebacker able to make the stop.
Trying play action. Looking left. He strikes downfield. They finally get him on the ground, but he's got an explosive play for the first down. Sometimes your tight end's a safety valve, and sometimes he's your go-to receiver.
And the offense knew right away it was the primary target. It was where he was going with the football, because you know you get a little bit of suck up from those linebackers with the play action, and you feed the big fella.
They say tight ends are a quarterback's best friend in the pass game because think about it. The tight end's the guy lined up closest to the quarterback, which means generally those are the easiest throws a quarterback has. You saw it on that play.
Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face third down.
These receivers on these scramble drills are going to have to play with a little bit more urgency because this pass rush is getting after the QB. He was flushed out to the left and wasn't able to complete that throw because of the hit he took.
Couldn't find his man last time, and that leaves him with a 3rd and 6. Wants to keep it in the air. Catch in the middle. It's Garrison. Couldn't quite nudge it in. Not sure you could get much closer, but it'll be 1st and goal. These two guys, just on the same wavelength, they make clutch connections all the time.
And that's practice, man. That's all summer. That's all spring. Just so many hundreds and thousands of balls where you know exactly when that guy's going to break. You know he's a stud. You're going to feed him, especially on these 3rd down situations.
They go right back to their man on 2nd and goal. Just hammer it with this running back again, and he noses his way into the end zone.
If the offense continues to put drives like that together, this defense is in trouble. How about the balance, the ability to throw the football, run the football, keep the defense guessing, and then when it gets closer to the end zone, the physicality to punch it in. Great start for this offense.
He'll bring it back from inside his 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. Kentucky sends the offense back out onto the field. Finding themselves down 7-0, they'd love to get a drive going here. To the air, it's Markham. And the ball comes out. What a disastrous play. Defense swarming on that loose ball. It'll be a turnover. And the quarterback just couldn't bring himself to pull the trigger and get rid of the ball, and they knock it free.
So let's give the secondary tons of credit, right, Reese? They were doing an outstanding job in the back end, in coverage, not allowing any receiver.
Lets it fly deep downfield. And he'll sail it way too far for everybody.
I love the attitude by this team now. You just got a critical takeaway. You're set up in amazing field position down in the red zone. Take a shot. Go right now. Throw it. Don't even wait. There's zero hesitation. Force the defense on the very first play of the drive to have to step up. And the defense...
Into the end zone. Touchdown, Auburn!
This offense is so good. Man, they can hurt you in so many different ways, and they do it so quick, so explosive. They can put small drives together, big drives together. They've really had a great year, and that's why they're a top 10 offense.
And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
Fellas, who knows how things are going to finish up in the Big Ten this season, but this is a game to keep in mind. Oregon delivered maybe its most thorough thumping in years in a game that featured a ton of big plays, not unlike the way LaMichael James, Kenyon Garner, and Jonathan Stewart used to do it. Iron sharpens iron, and you... Oh, a Big Ten matchup like this is going to go a long way in telling the story of each of these teams' seasons.
Kevin, thanks a lot for that one. Sounds as if they had a good one there. The give to the back. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
you're going to stop the run game, you better be physical up front on the defensive line. They've got some maulers. They've got some dudes with bad intentions. Nice play there.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Looking for a man. It's Marco. Throws to the tight end. Can't make the connection, and the defense putting on the heat and forcing the incompletion. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. This Auburn crowd trying to conjure up a little magic here on 3rd down. From the gun, wants to pass. And that defense gets to him, and down he goes at the 9.
And how about the defense getting home with the pass rush? Playing man coverage in the back end. You need to win up front. Those guys got to get to the quarterback. Do a great job rushing the passer. I can play man when I got a pass rush like that.
And the punt team gets down there and gets the return man on the ground. And Auburn is ready to go back to work on offense. They put 2 touchdowns on the board in the early going, and now right back to work. Wasting no time throwing on this drive. Working on the right. Ripping off a good chunk inside the 25, and they're set up with a first down.
How nice is it for the quarterback knowing he's got a tight end that can get down the field vertically on the corner route? You know if you just put it anywhere near this guy, with his long arms, he's going to pluck the football. He did it right there.
Stop is made almost immediately. Give him 1 to the 23. Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Grabbed behind the line. It's 4. And that defense pushing him out of bounds after a short gain. This tight end just creates matchup problems no matter how you try to defend him.
How about the catch radius on him, too? So as a quarterback, you don't have to be perfect when throwing it to him. You just got to get it somewhere in his vicinity, and he can come up with the catch.
Out of the crowd, and now he's got room. And he gets it inside the 10-yard line. They'll mark it at the 9, where it'll be 1st and goal.
Defense is going to have their hands full trying to get this guy in the ground, man. He's got some serious moves once he has the ball in his hands.
What a first quarter for this offense. A chance to score again on 1st and goal. Not this time. After finding running room on the previous play, nowhere to go this time around as the defense rises up. Defense rose up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a 2nd and long coming. The run up the middle, trying to find his way to the goal line. He's brought down at the 7-yard line, and they are threatening to take it in.
It's looking like they're going to have to try to throw this one into the end zone here on 3rd down, David. Quarterback's got to be careful. Can't get greedy because you know these windows, they close fast.
Extremely tight windows. Find your big body guys that you know can win in contested.
And he'll finish the run in the end zone. Touchdown, Auburn! They are seizing control and taking away hope as they push out the lead in this Week 8 showdown.
Love the quick decision-making by the quarterback. It's not just who's the open guy and who am I throwing it to. It's also having that clock, David, in your head that says, if no one's open and I'm down near the red zone, I'm taking off now and I'm using my athleticism and I'm getting a score.
Yeah, you love the decision-making. I hate the defense. Why are we dropping back so far in the end zone? We got to keep eyes on this QB. We know he can take off. We know he can make plays. The field shrinks, man. You got to expect that's coming. Not very good defense.
Kickoff unit has been busy as they have built a big lead and they're trying to hold on to it. On the move from inside his 5. And a really nice job by the kick team to get down there and make sure they limit that return. Kentucky has it back and the big blue offense takes the field. They haven't exactly burst out of the starting blocks, and they need to get something together with this possession. This drive will open from the 15. Back to throw, it's Marco. Bringing the heat. And he is snowed under. Sacked at the 7.
And they've been waiting for something good to happen with respect to getting after the quarterback, right? They're outside of the top 100 in the country in sacks per game, but finally now you see they're generating this pass rush. 3 sacks on the game so far.
Oh, they're after him. Fires to the big fella. Breaks into the open. They make the stop, but not before he takes a chunk out of what they need to move the sticks. That's the end of the quarter, and Auburn has the lead. Man, that was an impressive and dominant first quarter. Let's take a look at the stats before we move on. Big turning point as we head into the second and get this game rolling again. After the break, and it is 3rd down. From the gun, wants to pass. Interception, and things are going from bad to worse. Bringing it back. And he's wrapped up after a solid return on the pick. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. Now here comes that Auburn offense onto the field again. Everything's been working so far. They've had it 3 times, reached the end zone on each occasion, and now they're back to work. Relying on that running game, and it works for about 3 yards to the 31.
And I kind of like how the running back didn't mess around. Like, just get downhill when you see an opening. A lot of times they close so fast, man. Be decisive, stick your foot in the ground, pick up 3 to 4, and we are not going to complain.
Makes the grab. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage. In their vision of that play, someone would run free after making an easy catch. There was nowhere to run and nowhere to go except down.
Probably looked really good when they drew that one up on the board this week in practice, but obviously a lot more difficult to go out and execute. Give the defense credit. Great stop.
And the Tigers getting set on 1st and 10. To the air on 1st down. And he was looking over the middle and couldn't make the connection.
Yeah, I don't know if the quarterback got confused on 1st down. He might have thought the defense was going to be in man coverage that time, but they were in zone. They fooled him and just didn't seem like he had his eyes in the right place, was forcing that ball to his intended target. The window way too small. The guy was not open, so that didn't have that chance to be complete.
Auburn doing business in the red zone. Quickly complete. The stop is made, but this offense is threatening 1st and goal from the 9. New center downs right on the doorstep for this offense. A 1st down run in the red zone. And he waltzes in for the score. Touchdown, Tigers.
And this crowd was already jacked up. They were already excited. They were already making a difference in this football game, and the offense continues to pile on and give them something to cheer about. 27-0 here in the 1st half. This has been all home team.
Kentucky, 0.
He'll bring it out. It's Hooks. Not nearly as much as he'd hoped when he brought it out in the end zone. He'll be stopped at the 15. Kentucky sends the offense back out onto the field. He threw a pick the last time they had it. Now they have to take care of the football. Dropping back, it's Marco. Unloads to the wideout. Picked off, and they ruin an early drive with the turnover. Touchdown, Tigers! How about this defense taking one back to the house? Look, I know it's only the 2nd quarter, but we're starting to see a pretty significant gap develop between these 2 teams right now.
No doubt. When your defense is scoring, your offense is scoring, good things happening for your ball club. This defense on point, reading their scouting report, making big plays.
And he did get that extra point through the slippery surface, no problem. And he's going to try to return this one. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. Kentucky has it back, and the Big Blue offense takes the field. This thing has sort of gotten away the last couple of possessions. They've been a little too generous, David.
Yeah, like a nonprofit, man, like a charity, giving the football away too much. Got to take care of the football, Jesse. Otherwise, you got no shot to win this football game.
You're right, man. At this level of college football, it doesn't matter how talented you are. It doesn't matter who you're playing. If you're sloppy and you put the football on the ground or you throw picks, you're going to find yourself behind on the scoreboard.
Perfect play call for that big gain to open the drive. Now here they come on 1st and 10. They think they can impose their will here with the run to the right. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
Awesome job up front by this defensive line, being so good at the point of attack and eating blocks, eating some double teams that allows these linebackers to run free, unencumbered, and get to the football.
Didn't get much on 1st down. It's 2nd and 9. Looking to fire. It's complete. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
Really good defense. You know, you're trying to stay as close as you can to all these targets, and most importantly, those open field tackles and getting them on the ground as soon as they catch it. That's a major deal for defenses, and that was a good example there of it.
Chucked it away just as he was hit. Good job to toss that ball out of bounds and avoid the loss. Kentucky sent out the punting unit. Great contact on that ball as it just hangs up in the sky. Returns like that are why you don't settle for the fair catch if you don't have to. Picks up just a little bit of yards to help out the O. It's the old rule. If you can see the name on the back of his jersey, don't hit it. The block in the back cost him a good punt return. They're going to throw it to start the drive. He's got an open man. And the explosiveness, the big gainer gets it to the 49-yard line. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Looking to throw on 1st down. Makes the catch. And they picked up 9 on 1st down. It'll bring up 2nd and short. Wants to go up top. Caught over the middle. It's Need. Looks as if Auburn will have enough for the 1st down. Passing game kept this drive moving. Let's see if they try it again. Wants to throw again. Under fire. Incomplete. He had to get rid of it before he wanted to. The defense put the heat on.
And when you go 5 wide, man, and you spread the formation, it puts a lot of emphasis on those trenches. And those trenches have got to be good. And you got to pick up those guys up front. They didn't do it, and they're getting their quarterback hit as he throws the football.
They make the stop. Not a whole lot of ground picked up there, and they'll have work to do to get the 1st down. It'll be 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Finds his man. Just across the 20 with a 1st down at the 19.
When you're a playmaker like this guy is, your coaches are going to dial up plays intended for you, especially on 3rd down. That's what you saw in that last play. There was no question where the quarterback was going with that football. All week long, they decided on the biggest downs of this game, we're going to target our best player, and we're going to make sure that he gets looks. It doesn't matter what the coverage is. You saw it right there on that.
And everyone needs to have their packages. When they go 5 wide and they spread you wide, what's your answers? And I like the defense right here, bringing pressure, getting to the quarterback, and hitting him as he throws the football.
And it'll be incomplete. This is some physical pass defense.
Well, nice job by the defense here in back-to-back plays. 2 straight incompletions. You've given up some yards, and the opponent's in field goal range. This is a place a lot of D coordinators like to send the blitz, because if you sack the quarterback and create a negative play, you knock them out of field goal range.
Now on 4th down, they'll try to come away with 3. Not a particularly long kick from 36 yards out, but he'll have to guide it in from the left hash. That thing would have hit a string in the middle of the uprights. Perfect. And they just tack on a little more to this gargantuan lead.
And you want a touchdown and you want to be aggressive, but, man, right down the middle, that obviously gives me some confidence down the road that I can trust this guy.
Kentucky sends the offense back out onto the field. They find themselves in a pretty deep hole here, but maybe a chance to grab a little momentum and regroup at halftime.
Yeah, a big chance. Like, this is an opportunity. This is the biggest opportunity in front of them in the game right now. You got to get some points on the board. You got to create something positive, Jesse. There hasn't been a whole lot to be positive about in the first half.
If I'm playing quarterback, I'm locating my go-to guy at receiver. Who can I count on one-on-one to go and make me a play? Maybe even one-on-two. Who can go up, catch the ball, get a sweep.
Quarterback feeling the pressure, and down he goes at the 22.
And giving up 3 sacks a week ago. Now you've already given up 4 sacks. They got to find a way to protect their quarterback. Give him a little bit more time.
Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. On 3rd and long, he's going to have to turn one loose downfield. Makes the catch. It's Turner. They'll make the stop about 3 yards short of the first down. Timeout is called, and it's the defense wanting to make sure that everyone's on the same page for this big down. Kentucky will be forced to punt. Kicks it high, and it's just hanging there as if it has helium in it and floating down toward the earth. So here comes the Auburn offense. There's enough time left in the half here, David, to make something happen.
Dang right. I want to be aggressive. I'm not backed up in my own end. I can stay aggressive here. Try to get a field goal, Palmer. Try to get in range to get some kind of points beforehand.
Yeah, 2 biggest things are you got to protect the quarterback, and the QB cannot throw a pick here in this situation. If you do those 2 things, you got an opportunity here to steal some points.
Running out of time here in the first half, they're going to have to be efficient to put some points on the board before the break. Looking downfield on first down. That's caught. It's Ford. And he'll make his way out of bounds after the solid pickup.
And that's just a very easy, comfortable throw for the quarterback. He knows he has his big target, the tight end, running across the field on the drag. Nice play.
Dumps it to the back. It's complete on the right side. We've got a timeout in the waning seconds of the half. Maybe a chance to get off a couple more plays. They'll have just enough time to get one more snap before the half. Now from inside the red zone. Unleashes one deep. And that one is picked off in the end zone. We've played 2 quarters here. Time to go to Kevin Connors in our halftime update.
Thanks, guys. A first half that saw a little bit of everything there on the Plains. And we'd be remiss if we didn't start this halftime report by giving props to this star tight end. He's been almost, you know what, check that. He has been unguardable with that unusual blend of speed, size, hands, and route running. He is a pick-your-poison kind of player.
Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. And Auburn is ready to go back to work on offense. Not sure they had to make many adjustments at halftime as they try to build on this lead here in the 3rd. Oh, it gives him the tough stiff arm. Barrels all the way to the 29, a gain of 6. The Tigers can play this second down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. Running it to the right. There he goes. The tap. Touchdown, Tiger. He found some open space and turned on the Jets.
You just simply can't say enough about this guy and what he has meant to this offense. Big-time players make big plays in big games. He has shown up each and every week. That's his 15th rushing score on the season.
And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
Boys, expect the unexpected in college football, and for some, this update could fall under that category. Boston College managed to eke out the victory in a tighter-than-expected one. And they'll savor this one in Chestnut Hill for some time, no matter the final score. All that speculation all week, and now we know. But something tells me, fellas, we haven't heard the last of either of these teams.
Yeah, how about that? Sounds as if they had a good ball game there. Kevin, thanks for the update. Hand off to the single back. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball.
I gotta be honest, I am shocked at just how well the defense has played in this game, especially stopping the run. We talked about statistically how they've struggled this season, but they have put the clamps down in this one, and they're just playing with a ton of intensity.
Didn't get much done on that first play of the drive. It's 2nd and 11. Pocket breaking down. And that defense gets to him, and down he goes at the 9.
Man, this defense has played so well, and this offense, they've struggled. They haven't executed greatly. They're going to have to do it against a really good defense who continues to apply pressure. They got to find a way to protect their quarterback a little better.
Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. On 3rd and long, a check down would be the last resort. And here comes the pressure, and there he goes down again.
And I wish I could bring you some hope, but, man, this defense, again, you know, they already got the lead. They got their ears pinned back. They're rushing the quarterback. I know this one's over, but offensively, let's find a way to protect our guy, put something together. Maybe we find a way to make this respectable at some point in the football game.
And you make the stop, and that is exactly what you want out of your punt cover unit. Now here comes that Auburn offense onto the field again. He might want another play. Looking to throw on 1st down. Fires to the wideout. Soft spot in the middle. They've got it inside the 30. They'll mark it at the 28. It's 1st down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Leaves it with the back. Worked it down to the 22-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry.
Really nice 1st down run. And you're seeing why this running back is an every down type back. He can run between the tackles. He can run outside. He can catch the football. He can block.
Turning it on! Big pickup on the ground here to keep this drive moving and give them a 1st down.
This shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. If you've got the lead in the 3rd quarter and you want to keep it, you got to bleed the clock. Best way to do that, run the football. And you're now seeing this offense call these run plays back to back. They are trying to be physical. They're trying to stay on the field.
Maybe that stop is a good sign for this defense. Maybe the defense is starting to figure it out. Obviously, offense has been running the football with so much success. Something has to change. That was a good start.
2nd down, they'll go to the air. Catch in the middle, it's 4. They get it down to the 7 on that pass play in prime position for a score.
I think that time offensively, you're just trying to take what the defense is giving you, right? They're playing zone coverage. You got your big fella just working right over the ball. It's an easy pitch and catch. Just take the profit and let's keep going.
They'd love to pick up this 3rd down and get a fresh set with 1st and goal. Can't make the grab as he was looking for his man right at the goal line.
Well, this is a disappointing drive for the offense considering where this drive started in their opponent territory. Now you're 4th and long. You've got to be better throwing the football in those types of situations.
Absolutely perfect. And that'll add 3 more to a lead that is already way out of hand.
And listen, y'all know in the booth and everywhere how I feel about kickers. Don't always love leaving it on their foot, so to speak, but nice job executing. He keeps doing stuff like that. I'll keep trotting him out there.
And he takes this from inside the 5. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. Kentucky has it back, and the big blue offense takes the field. They didn't get much done the last time they had it, and to punt it away from deep in their own territory, hoping this drive will be more productive. On the move. Can't get him to the ground. And the ball's free in the backfield. Once that ball was loose, offense didn't have a chance. Defenders everywhere. It's a turnover.
And when you're on defense and it's wet and it's rainy, you know exactly what time it is. That ball gets a little heavier. It gets a little slicker. You're trying to get to that thing. You know you get your hand on it. There's a good chance it's coming out. Nice job by the defense forcing it with the assist from the Rebel.
He'll be hauled down just inside the 10 of the 9 as they're trying to turn this into a score.
The big fella in the middle, man. Those defensive tackles, they go such a long way in deciding and really stopping the other team's run game. Just forcing contact with those guards and those centers, owning the line of scrimmage, and getting running backs on the ground.
Going to work on second down in the red zone is still some ground to cover to pick up that first down. Got rid of it quickly, but it's incomplete.
Well, it's a nice job by the quarterback getting the ball out of his hands quickly on that RPO. He saw something he liked, just not on the same page with his receiver.
Touchdown, Auburn! Fired in from the red zone for the score.
They really focused on with this receiver in the offseason was we need you to make more plays for us in the end zone. When we're taking shots, we need you to be able to step up and make tough catches. And David, what a grab right there.
And I think a lot of that has to do with trusting your guy, knowing where he's going to be, knowing when he's going to sit down, when he's not, so being on the same page, and then having a guy that can go get it. Just
look at that toughness, just running through everybody. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. Kentucky sends the offense back out onto the field. That last fumble proved to be costly as they cashed it in for a touchdown.
Yeah, and so this defense now is juiced. They're excited and ready to go. So this offense, David, they've got to get something going.
Yeah, those turnovers can be contagious, man. They get you excited, and then when your offense takes it down the field and does something with it, this offense better be ready to play against a motivated defense.
Very little running room, if any, and he just hasn't had anywhere to go in this one.
And yeah, that's kind of surprising. We talked about this before the game. One of the big matchups. Run the football against a defense that's been susceptible against the run throughout the season. But this offense just can't find a way to get it going. And I'm surprised, but now what's your counterpunch? How are you going to get the ground game going? Because so far, not a lot of success.
This has got to be disappointing if you're the offense, guys. You were expecting to have a lot of success running the ball, especially against this defense, which has struggled so much this season, but just nothing doing. They have not been good enough in the trenches so far.
And the running game has collapsed so far on this drive, and now it's third down. Looking for a man, it's Markham. And the defense makes a play, sacking him back at the 10.
This has been a frustrating day, and I'm not sure it's going to get any better. You're already down huge. Listen, this offense can't protect this quarterback. They don't do anything right now. This defense has had their number all game long.
Kentucky sent out the punting unit. Doesn't say much for your drive when you're looking forward to the punt. Another punt on the way. Got to make sure those hammies and glutes all activated. Don't want any muscle pulls from overuse. Excellent coverage that time. Didn't give him any room to set up a big return. They've got the big fellas out there. A 3 tight end look on 1st and 10. The give to the back. Got enough for the first down. Oh, he's got some space. And there they go again. Another huge gain on the ground.
And obviously this offense has had their way, getting the huge lead. And now, when you know it's a running situation later in the ball games, you're still getting pounded. This defense has to step up at some point and be a lot more physical.
D coordinators down the road that have to play this offense, man, they're going to have nightmares because this unit has so much speed and so much skill. At running back, receiver, tight end, the quarterback making good decisions, it is so tough trying to stop them and prevent explosive plays.
He'll be hauled down just inside the 10 of the 9 as they're trying to turn this into a score. Not a lot of ground to cover and not much to defend. A big third down in the red zone. He'll be stopped short, picks up 1, but they're facing 4th and 1.
Picks up 1. Now,
So this field goal unit has been getting the job done. They've already made a couple here today. Never a doubt. Right down the middle. Well, that's just piling on. Not the penalty kind, just the mean kind.
Man, so many more times we're going to say, go for it, be aggressive. Nice to have a guy you can depend on, and you know you're putting 3 on the board. Nice kick, nice job.
This should be the last play of the quarter. The give to the single back. And he didn't find a whole lot of running room, and that'll be the final play of the third quarter. That's the end of the period, and Auburn has the lead. And as we switch ends of the field, let's take a quick look at the national rankings. I guess if you're an optimist, the stage is set for a massive fourth quarter comeback. Chance to mull things over, and let's see how they start the final period here on second down. Back to pass. Under fire. And that defense gets to him, and down he goes at the 9.
Man, the sack, and this offense has just struggled. They haven't done anything right, and they got a full quarter to go. Like, they got to find something in this next quarter to hang their hat on, something to leave with some positive vibes.
Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. On 3rd and long, you'll have to turn it loose deep. Throws to the wideout. Makes the grab. He's going to come up a couple of yards short of the first down. Kentucky will be forced to punt. They're up to a half dozen kicks today. A high kick. Let's see if he can pin them back deep in their own end. Didn't exactly flip the field, but they'll down. Outside the 40. So here comes the Auburn offense. They had to settle for the chip shot field goal last time, Jesse. They'd love for this one to pay off bigger.
Yeah, it just comes down to execution, too. Did a nice job out in the field, stalled a little bit once they got down to the goal line, so they just need to be a little bit more crisp here.
Yeah, and listen, I think the first part was the most important part. You got to put the drive together first to get down there. Now, when we get down there, focus on execution and getting 6 points.
The Tigers, after ripping off that huge run, let's see if they can do it again. They're going to ride this running back. There to stop him after a pickup of 1 to the 22. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Now the play fake. On the move to his left. He'll try to do it himself. Tough run, gets it into the red zone, and they've knocked him down at the 17.
And this is the hard part about being on defense and choosing whether to be conservative or bring the blitz. They bring the blitz, he sees it, and that's what he does really well. Sees it and immediately makes a decision, gets to some green grass, and gets a positive gain for this offense.
Auburn going to work with another first down. Right back to the well. Stopped in the backfield. He's going to lose 3 yards on the play.
It's going to be tough sledding for the offense here. They're trying to ice this game by running the football and bleeding the clock. They've got a pretty good lead here late in the game, but the defense knows the run's coming, right? So they're going to be loading the line of scrimmage, getting stops like what they just did. Be interesting to see what the offense does on this next one.
And the Tigers with a long way to go after the loss on the last play. The sweet feet buy a little time. He's got it and still on his feet. He's forced out of bounds inside the 5 at the 4, and they save the touchdown, at least for now. Tight quarters deep in the red zone, but they can pick up a first down without scoring. Third down. And the defense makes a play. Back at the 10. So here comes the field goal unit again. This kicker has already made 3 in this one. Right down the boulevard. It's good. And they just tack on a little more to this gargantuan lead.
And they just tack on more points to this big lead. Listen, fourth quarter was sitting extremely pretty. All we got to do, not give up big plays, make them earn everything they get the rest this way, and we're looking pretty good.
Kentucky has it back, and the big blue offense takes the field. We'll see if they can be a little more productive this time around. A 3-and-out the last time they had the ball. Defense in press coverage. He'll pitch it. Not much doing there. He gets it to the 26, a gain of 1. Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Looking to fire. All kinds of room to throw that one in there. Really nice pickup there as they have it out to the 44 with a first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. Running back searching for a hole. Great penetration by this defense, and they knock him down behind the line. A loss of 1.
Yeah, and this offense has to find a way to run the football. They got to get more creative, but whatever that looks like for this offense, something to jumpstart them, because nothing really going on the ground.
Yeah, defensively, though, you got to give them credit, too, because they knew that physically they were going to try to be challenged up front. That was a big MO for this offense coming into it. But the defense, they've risen to the occasion. Their front 7 has dominated this entire game.
They've got to come up with a big play on this 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. And they fail to hook up on 3rd down.
Well, the defense came into this one knowing if they stop the pass, they win the game, and they have done that. Their guys have won one-on-one on islands. They've been able to get to the quarterback. They've been mixing up their looks. They haven't even allowed 100 yards passing in this one, and that's why they are way ahead here in the 4th quarter.
And Auburn is ready to go back to work on offense. Always good to get points on a drive, David, but chip shot field goals can leave you a little empty.
And I think it's great to get points, but the great teams get touchdowns in the red area. You got to get out there this time and execute a little better on this drive.
You're absolutely right, David. And generally, the best red zone offenses are the ones that run the ball the best. So let's see if they can be a little bit more physical on this drive.
Delay of game. Offense.
The offense couldn't get the snap off in time, and it'll cost them. They'll move the tight end. He'll set up to throw. Unloads to the wideout. Wide open downfield. And they get him down at the 43, but this is the kind of explosive play you want to build on.
I tell you, you got to be careful if you're the defense right now because you're behind. I know you want to be aggressive. You might want to start blitzing, getting a lot of guys close to the line of scrimmage, but this offense is going to take opportunities when they have one-on-ones, and they just did right there.
Couldn't find anybody to throw to. He'll just toss it away. It'll be 2nd down. Couldn't make the connection last time. Let's see if they throw it again. 2nd down, he'll throw it. Got it in the middle. It's Garrison. Breaks into the open. Finally corralled, but not before. He picks up the first down. The Tigers come to the line with a fresh set of downs. They keep it on the ground. Clock is their friend. He's dragged down at the 12 as they try to cash in on this red zone opportunity. It'll be second down, and remember, they can pick up a first without scoring. Caught near the sticks. It's 4. They get him down, but this offense is set up first and goal from the 9.
Listen, I know that game didn't get very much, but I love getting the tight ends involved, getting everybody involved in the offense, make me cover the whole field, keep everybody a little bit honest.
Got his man quickly. And they're going to put another one into the end zone as they just keep piling points on the scoreboard.
With that last touchdown, they remain undefeated. What can you say about this offense? One of the most explosive in the entire nation, and they're coming in, I think, every week with the mindset that we're just going to outscore everybody. We are okay going into a track meet, and that's really what we saw in this game today. But opponents just cannot keep pace with them and all of the athletes they have on the offensive side of the ball.
Kentucky sends the offense back out onto the field. Well, this has pretty much been an evisceration, an old-fashioned stomping, Jesse.
Yeah, and listen, this is one of those games where you're not necessarily throwing the playbook in the trash after this one, but I do think this coaching staff, David, really has to be honest with themselves and rethink what schemes are working and not working and which guys maybe need to get more touches in this offense.
Well, I think I like the trash option as well because it's been hot trash. This has been a bad day. Offense, defense, giving up a ton of points, not scoring near enough. So it's been a bad day you're going to want to forget.
This defense has kept them backed up. Now one more stop, and they can get off the field on 3rd and long. Oh, they really could have used that catch there. Physical pass defense. It brings up a 4th down. Kentucky sends out the punting unit. Not able to pop the big return, but they've got the ball back and ready to go with a fresh possession. Now here comes that Auburn offense onto the field again. They're in command of this game. Now let's see if they try to rub a little salt in the wound or happy with getting the W.
Yeah, and listen, this makes the post-game handshake fun sometimes if you do choose to rub a little salt in it and keep chucking and keep scoring. I'm here for it, Jesse. Like, your job is to score points. It's my job to stop it. Keep the foot to the accelerator. Keep trying to play ball.
Oh, he's getting ahead of steam. And we have breaking news. They score yet another touchdown.
And they just keep piling on the points. We've seen in big moments in this game, they have been able to step up and deliver, particularly on offense. Very impressive performance.
They'll try to add another to their lead. And they tacked on the extra point. They couldn't draw up a drive better than that one. Just gashed them for the big play in the running game. One snap, one touchdown. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. Kentucky has it back, and the big blue offense takes the field. This one has pretty much been a bludgeoning, but they'll try to finish with something positive late.
Well, they ran into a buzzsaw today, and I don't think it would matter what type of X's and O's they're out there executing, David. Jimmy's and the Joes, they're just not as good as the opponent today.
And as an athlete, it sometimes hits you in the face and it stinks, but you're not good enough. And today they were not good enough. And I'm going to do the best I can to try to flush this down the toilet and not remember it, forget it, move on for the next game. Maybe something right here I can create positive that carries over to practice and maybe next week.
Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face 3rd down. Trying to pick up a 1st down. On 3rd down, he'll try to pick it up through the air. And that'll be incomplete. They certainly weren't afraid to take a shot there, and now it's 4th down. Kentucky will be forced to punt. Trying to play a little field position with that high punt. And this punt will be down just on the other side of midfield. Their work here is virtually done. No need to take any more chances. They'll line up in victory formation.